All right, I am live. We are live with a special duo session 6.5 of Tension Rising. Fortunately, last session was muted, so we're going to do a little recap of the important stuff that happened so it's in the record in terms of my video stuff. So, what happened last session? Do you want to start, Whitney, to try to hit on the big things that happened?
Well, I think the major things that we probably super care about are some of the ongoing investigation into what is happening with the vampire stuff around Geffen. So, um, it was the last session that Gerald was finally able. I don't remember if he got it. I don't think he got it during that session. He just finally decoded his note during that session. And the gist of his note, he hasn't given us complete full details, so you can fill in if there's more in the note. But basically, what he tells the rest of the party eventually, after he decodes it, is that it's some high pay grade vampire stuff going on that's being done under the noses of people, and Queen doesn't know about it, and anyways, alluded to stuff that was happening with it. So yeah, Gerald decodes that, and then he proceeds to eat the note. So that was interesting. The party just sort of screws around for a little bit. Some of us did some shopping. Gerald went and bought swim trunks because now he's obsessed that the party have a beach episode. So we eventually set off on our beach episode, and we head up to Port Gaffenia, and we get there late, and we are planning on staying the night in Port Gaffenia when the halfling that Gerald had been sort of in communication with comes into the bar that Gerald and Dahlia are at. Motions Gerald to come upstairs with her, and so he does, leaving Dahlia downstairs by herself, which then Nalor proceeds to come in, who, if people don't know his name, Nalor is the vampire associated with the Celeste stuff who pretty much bought Dahlia off. He comes in, him and I chat. He basically asks me if Gerald is going to be a problem and if it is possible to buy him off, and just trying to figure out how to essentially clean up the mess. He apparently knows that Gerald got a message and he wants to know what was in it. So he doesn't actually know what was in it, but he seems to have some intelligence that Gerald knows more than he should know. The halfling upstairs was essentially a ruse, and Gerald figures it out rather quickly, so Nalor has to head upstairs to go chat with him, because the halfling is actually a zombie that just looks very lifelike, and the halfling is actually dead. Nalor goes upstairs and chats with Gerald. Nalor is trying to kind of buy him off as well, is trying to ask him what amount of money it would take for him to stop looking into this, and is also willing to give the halfling's family match whatever said amount of money so that the halfling's family is compensated for the fact that she was an unnecessary or by death byproduct of all of this. Gerald secretly makes it seem like he's going to agree to this and pours a drink to toast with him, and he doesn't realize that Gerald has poured holy water in the drink. So they toast, and Nalor gets a mouthful of holy water. Not fun. Attack ensues. Dahlia hears it rather quickly, heads upstairs, tries to get them to stop and chill the F out, and they're kind of not having it. Nalor succeeds in dominating Gerald and is making him tell him the truth. Between Gerald and Dahlia, he finds out what was in the message, and Unfortunately, the sound not only had attracted Dahlia, but had also attracted the innkeeper, so she comes up and starts trying to open the door and bang on the door. Dahlia is trying to keep the door shut so that this doesn't escalate more. But she yells into the room, "Is everyone all right in there?" And because Nalor told Gerald that he had to tell the truth, Gerald starts being like, "No, actually, I'm not all right." And so the innkeeper ends up calling the town guard. Nalor ends up taking the magical wayfinder from Gerald as compensation, because he was like, now you guys have to pay me off, and I'm trying to figure out how to like chill this guy out and, you know, calm things down. And he ends up taking the wayfinder from Gerald. He bats out through the window when they start talking about calling the town guard, but Gerald is still dominated. And Dahlia's like, F this shit. And she also, seeing Nalor bats out, is like, hey, cool, I can do that. And she bats out. So she also dips out of the window and has Kitty jump out with her. So town guard get there. Gerald's been given a command through his dominate to come outside. He's trying to do so. Town guard stops him. They realize that he is under a domination or some kind of mind control effect. They basically get him tied up until a cleric is able to come, and the cleric does like protection from evil, gives them like 5 minutes of like communicating regularly where Gerald kind of relays the story to everyone of what's happened. Wears off. He once again feels compelled to go outside. They do this one more time, and then he's able to finally break free of the compulsion. Let's see, Gerald and Grog decide that they're going to go with the cleric back to his like temple and rest there for the night, because the innkeeper basically wants nothing to do with our party anymore, and she's like, GTFO my inn. So they go there, and Gerald decides to write up 2 letters that currently he only knows the contents of, but the gist of it, to our understanding, is it's whistleblowing everything that's happening right now, because he thinks the vampires are going to try to silence him, so he is setting this up to where if he stays mind controlled or something happens to him or whatever, that other people have this info and can get it out there. He rolls one up and hands it to the cleric and pays him to open it in like a couple days and like get it to like a town crier or spread the message himself throughout Port Gethenia. And he gives one to Grog to essentially have as well and get to like a town crier once they get back to Geffen. I think that's all the main important stuff.
Yeah, I think you hit everything. So before we jump into like the actual like what's going on in the session, we kind of have these 2 people here, Whitney and Jess. You're both here. Why are you here? Who are your characters? And what do you think they'd be doing in an average day? So basically where this is taking place, it's going to be the dead of night. So both of you are, the little slight spoiler, queens of your respective cities. And you're busy people, so you're probably up and about, or at least you don't get a full night's rest. You're probably, things bother you, emergencies come up. So what do you think? Let's start with Whitney. You just did a lot of talking. So why don't we start with Jess? Who's your character? What do you think you'd be doing on a random night in Geffen?
My character is Shiraze. She is a witch, and she is also the queen of Geffen. She typically in a day deals with ruling Geffen day to day. You know, usually during the day she listens to petitioners, tries to help out, may go to council meetings, that sort of thing. And her whole thing is, she's the one that is kind of responsible for founding the Adventurers Guild and trying to make Geffen and Gethenia and the surrounding towns better.
Yeah, so the Adventure Guild is in full swing. You're the fruits of your labor. You're seen to completion. You got a bunch of kids running around these days. you're probably busy with that, and you're also running a whole city. Shiraze probably leads a very busy life.
Definitely.
How old are your kids now? Or at least the
Um,
youngest. How old would they be?
the youngest, goodness.
How many years in the future are we? Did we decide this was? Was it like 100 or so, or 10, or what
Let's
did we decide
see.
that these games are? I don't even
It's
remember.
20 years later.
20 years. Okay.
And I believe we took note of when you had your kids. Let's take a look.
So she's had 9 children, 4 boys and 5 girls.
My Geffen music is bugged. If you get a chance to
Restart it?
yeah.
So I would say the oldest are probably like either preteens or teenagers, and the youngest are probably like she probably has a couple of toddlers at least.
I was gonna say I feel like Shiraze is like whipping them out as much as she can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like I didn't mark exactly when you have your children, but at the 3.5 year out of the 20 years is when Shiraze found a husband from Tian Sha, allegedly. So I guess that's
Yeah.
around the time you started having the bobbies.
So then, yeah, I would say the oldest would probably be about 15 or 16, maybe.
Yeah,
and the
that would
youngest,
be, yeah. The oldest person, the oldest kid could be that. That's the oldest they could be. So yeah, they're kind of finding their own way. There's not really anything going on with them specifically. But the city in general has had an era of peace. Not much, at least compared to your adventuring days. Not much worries. You have the Adventure Guild to deal with the little problems creeping up here and there. But mostly your guard and your armies are not needed anywhere in particular.
yes.
So yeah, you're experiencing a good era of prosperity and peace, generally speaking. And what about you, Whitney? What is your character up to? Who is your character? And how does she become where she is?
So yeah, my character is Natalia Vasiliev, even keeping her original name. Sorry, Baloo. She is the now queen of the, well, we should say queen of Vindicta. She founded her own city. But she is essentially queen of the vampires, werewolves, dampiers, that combo of creatures. She got to that position by basically dealing with a coup in her island of her people, of 2 people in the council who decided to essentially like usurp the others and throw off basically their hierarchy of how they've always run, and she rightfully came in and defeated them both and became queen of everyone. She's thematically essentially in game would be part human, part vampire, part werewolf, so she is a little of all 3 herself. So after the end of our last game in this 20-year period, she spent a lot of that time creating a city of her own. She is working on building her people into a rightful power themselves and making the rest of Maldonia treat her and them as a entity of their own, just like any of the other major cities. Some do, some still don't, but we work in there. She's also partnered to Valoo, which is why her city is founded very close to Valoo's tower. And as for what she'd be doing, I mean, they have kids as well, but I think a lot of her focus is her and Valoo have certain tasks they're trying to complete together, so that's going to be a big part of her focus, is helping with the endeavors that he is attempting. And a lot of the rest of her focus is on her city and obviously all the things that come with being a vampire queen, the nitty-gritty, dirty, fun times, dealing with vampires, werewolves, and all that such.
Very good. So we start our session with Natalia. You're doing whatever you think you'd be doing in the middle of the night. You're up late, poring over something in your room, documents, treaties, deeds, things like this, anything that you think would be occupying some hours in the night that keeping you from sleeping. When one of your, I don't know if you have servants, maybe one of your guard kind of gives your door a knock. And you know this is a very unusual thing because it would be highly irregular to disturb the queen at this hour, so it must be something important for this fool to bother you.
Yeah, I mean, she'd probably annoyingly just bark at them to, like, what do you want? Come in.
Yeah, the door creaks open, and you see before you one of your many faceless guards. They're a mix of, some of them are like magic inclined, some of them are just plain old warriors. This one here is a mix. He's got a component pouch on his side, and he's got a nice falchion on sheath in his side, and he's got leather armored, and he's got just one of those magical headbands on as well. So he's kind of outfitted. He's one of your higher guards, and he kind of comes in. He says, "Oh, my apologies, Queen. It's an emergency. One of the higher nobles stationed in Geffen, she's here, and she requests an audience. She says it's a matter of urgency."
Yeah, I think Natalia would just sigh. The fuck are these nobles in Geffen up to now? Alright, take me to her, I guess.
Of course. He'll lead you to your meeting room. You have a nice... it's almost like a castle, the main keep here for you. It's a very nice stone structure. He brings you into the meeting room, lined with these ornate carpets. He seats you in your main spot where you usually meet with honored guests. And he quickly goes to get your impromptu guest. In comes Celeste and Nelor. Just getting a description of them. Where do we have it here? Yeah. Yes, so Nelor, I guess the session was muted, but we just saw him in the last session. He is clearly a vampire. He's pale-skinned, good-looking man. Weird. He looks to be disheveled than his usual appearance. He's got his cloak is kind of a little bit tattered. He seems to be his hair a mess and stuff like that. Celeste is a lot more composed. She's got nice blonde hair, blue eyes. She's got a black and red dress on. The padding on the sides is red with some red embroidery around the sides. She has a dagger sheathed on her side with a pouch that might be a component pouch, but either way. But she's looks way in better condition than him. She's clearly got on fancy clothes of a noble. They kind of shuffle inside and both bow their heads in front of you, and Celeste speaks, and she says, "My queen, my apologies for the hour of our arrival. It is of most urgency that we speak."
Well then speak, don't keep me waiting.
Of course. As you know, we occupy ourselves in Geffen. We keep our people's lives secret from the general populace, as agreed between you and the Queen of Geffen. We avoid any harm to the civilians. But things have started to change. I've heard rumors of vampire hunters in the area, and people, I hear rumors, they fear the creatures of the night. They fear us. And she kind of hesitates for a moment, but then gathers her courage. I took it upon myself to set up a keep, a place of escape should we become hunted. You see, the days of Payon, they still ring true for a lot of our people. So I just figured I'd create a safe haven. During its construction, we ensured to keep its secrecy, but unfortunately there were a few that got involved that found the secrets of it. We've dealt with most of them. One, unfortunately, a halfling who was employed as a contractor by the city. She would not be bought, or she would not see reason. We had no choice but to act, and she unfortunately is no longer with the living. Aside from her, we believe 3 adventurers going by the names of Gerald, Gorg, and Dahlia all are aware somewhat of our operation. Mostly this Gerald character. He insists on outing our location, and before this gets further out of hand, just tonight he tried to kill Nelor, tricked him in drinking holy water. And as you look over Nellar, he kind of looks down, ashamed of his falling for this or whatever. And you can see that he's kind of baring his fangs too. He clearly looks very upset and wanting to fight. And she says, a scuffle happened in a tavern in Port Cafenia. Many people are aware of this rumor that this Gerald character is espousing. But in order to cut these rumors and loose ends, we need your guidance. We didn't want to try to murder more people if we didn't have to. This is clearly out of our depth. And she kind of just after saying all that, she kind of just pauses for a moment and looks down and waits for your processing it all and waiting for your first words of response.
So I guess Natalia's first thing is, as she's listening to all of this, I mean, Natalia's very good at gauging people's truthfulness, so she will be doing that to see if there's motives Celeste is leaving out here.
Sure. Yeah, vampires are very charismatic, but you're also a very good judge of character, and you get a sense that she's been very forthcoming and is just trying to be honest about everything, but you do get a sense of this whole story, it all is true and all that. You don't get a sense of blatant lies. But you've heard, you keep well informed on your people, and you've been warned that there are factions of your people that crave status and want to climb the rankings. So this kind of just reeks of that to you. You can sniff out power hunger when you see it, and you can kind of tell that she is one of those people that definitely wants to be higher than her station. And maybe this is some of that, but it's not the central point of it. You just, in the back of your head, this is something you're aware of.
Well, the two of you have sure made a mess, haven't you?
She kind of sighs. Yes, I put my faith in the wrong sorts. She kind of side-eyes Nelor, and he kind of glares at her as she side-eyes him.
Do you want to explain to me why you thought it was a good idea behind my back? I can semi-understand why potentially behind the back of the Queen of Geffen, but mine as well, you decided to undergo this?
She kind of nods. I understand, my queen. My apologies. I wanted to surprise you with this. I thought having another safe haven close to town in case we were ever betrayed by the Queen of Geffen or even her people, if they turned on us, I wanted to act fast and have a place of safety. Once it was all finished, I was to invite you over and unveil it and have you be the one to first sanction its use. I'm sorry, it was stupid.
Do I strike you as the kind of queen that enjoys surprises?
I guess not.
Well, Celeste, your idea isn't terrible. Your execution, not the greatest. And unfortunately, someone will have to pay for this. I will figure out who and how, but I guess the more pressing matter at the moment is covering all of this up and fixing it all before everyone knows about it.
I believe the Gerald and Gorg are en route back to Geffen to spread word of it. And Dahlia, we believe we lost track of. I assume she is heading back to the city. She left much earlier and is not as well informed on the matter. I don't know how much she knows. She's actually been assisting us, and memories have been wiped of the exacts. And she's been rather good to work with. Nelor tells me she was easily enough agreeable on terms. We gave her a mithril scythe in exchange for her silence. But the others seem to not accept our gifts and are intent on revealing all of this to the city and eventually, I guess, to the Queen. She may not take kindly to all of this behind her back. Well, of course, there is, as you said, someone to blame for all this. She kind of again looks to Nelor, and he kind of glares at her again and says, "What, you want to blame me for this? I tried my best to deal with these fools. I even offered to pay the family of that stupid halfling. These people are cattle, and yet we bargain with them. Please, my queen, give me the word, and I'll gather our strongest warriors, and we'll feast on them, and we'll deal with whoever knows. They should be our subjects, not our equals."
Nelor, no one is saying that they are our equals. However, if we want to be part of this world and be acknowledged as part of this world and not hunted as creatures of the night, then we need to act a little bit more civilized than just feasting on everyone who irritates us.
He was almost on a knee, and then he kind of stands up straight and says, "Then let them come, my queen. I think we should make our move. These mortals, they are arrogant. They've forgotten the old ways. They used to fear us. Now they think they're so bold to hunt us."
You want to move against the entire country, Nelor, because you realize you move against any faction of the humans, and every single nation of humans will band together and come after us. We are powerful, and we could probably take a lot of them, but we would lose a lot in the process. And I have worked too hard to build this city and rebuild our people after the Civil War. I'm not about to risk our people's lives because your arrogance thinks you are above some humans.
He kind of catches himself and bows his head. "I'm sorry, my queen. I forget myself."
I'll motion a couple guards and please escort them to a room and make sure they stay there until I've had time to decide what to do with the both of them.
Yeah, these two, different than the first guard, these two very heavily armored guards, faces covered in plate, kind of put hands on their shoulders, and they kind of guide them to a secure room.
I'll turn to the original guard who brought me here and say, before I leave or figure out how to handle this, can you please wake, I don't know if I named my cleric, but my cleric, Valu, and any other the council members that are willing to get up at this hour and have a quick meeting with me. Tell them I apologize and it will be quick, but it is necessary.
Of course, my queen, and of course I was in the room hearing all this. Should I send word to the Queen of Geffen? Do you wish to treat with her? It would be good to give her advance notice.
Yes, please send a message to her. Let her know I will need to meet with her as soon as she's available.
Excellent. He will go gather your trusted advisors. He will send messenger to Shiraze. And so you want to meet with your advisors? They can be gathered in a short few minutes.
I mean, essentially the advisors and Valu. I'm going to lay out the situation for them, and this is a difficult thing to deal with. We must be diplomatic about it, because unfortunately they decided to do this in Shiraze's territory, who is one of my closest allies, and I cannot mess that up. It will ruin relations for us for the rest of the country. I will have to inform Shiraze of what's being done there. However, it is extremely advantageous for multiple reasons, and I'm hoping I can explain to her the advantages of having this there. And if we can keep it under wraps enough, I believe it will be beneficial to both us and to Geffen. However, that leaves us with dealing with the people who do know about it.
Yeah, your advisors are quick to agree. And I guess they just kind of suss out, your cleric will say, my queen, so does this mean you are to leave tonight? You're dealing with this yourself?
Unfortunately, because it's in Shiraze's territory, I believe it needs to be dealt with myself. If it were another area of the realm near Prontera or Payon, I would be completely happy to send some underlings, but when it comes to Geffen and Shiraze and our closest allies, I believe it needs to be done by me.
All right. So he just says, if you are to leave, do you want protections put on you?
I would appreciate that.
He nods. He will cast a few spells for you. Which we don't need to know the exact details to right now. If they ever come up, we can mention them. Valu just kind of gives you a knowing nod. And he will also give you a powerful protection. Oh no, that's a personal spell. Mind blank is anyone, right? Yes, one creature for 24 hours. Actually, that would interrupt the combo of the other spell. I think, because I think status is divination. It is. Okay, so he's not going to give you mind blank. I guess he just asked if there's anything you want or need.
I can't think of anything specific off the top of my head, but depending on I guess what Shiraze and I decide for meeting up, if he can just help me get there quickly.
Indeed. Yeah, he can teleport you in anywhere nearby when you're ready to go. But yeah, while you get... So how are you planning on... so you want to just teleport it when you're ready to go kind of thing?
Well, I mean, obviously, like, I'm having to send, like, word to Shiraze first and just saying, like, how soon can you meet me? But, like, I need to hear back from her, obviously, first to know, like, when. Because I don't know, so... I would
Alright.
probably just send the message, say, like, I can come to you, or let me know where you would prefer to meet, and, like, when.
Gotcha. Alright, across the country we go to the magical city of Geffen in the middle of the night. Shiraze, you're tending to some legal paperwork, some stuff you don't need your full brain power for that you've kind of left for the evening, that need your signature, when suddenly a raven darts in through the window and drops a little piece of parchment on your table. And the raven just kind of like lands on your table and starts pecking around as you unroll this parchment. And it's a message from the kingdom to the east, the city of vampires, from the queen herself, your old adventuring friend, your old Queen's Guard. You probably still speak once in a while, but both of you have your own things. You have a family. You each have your own cities to take care of. Things get busy. So it's probably maybe been a few months since you last spoke. Maybe a few weeks. Who knows? You lose track of time. But you recognize the penmanship right away. It's drafted in Natalia's own hand.
I will offer the bird some food, and I'll read the message.
Yeah, the message, when you're taking a closer look, is clearly drafted in some sort of magical pre-form. Like, it's in her like handwriting, but clearly it's like a magic message. And yeah, it just details to pretty much what you've just been hearing. She's asking for a place, a time of great urgency. Something's happened in your land that she wants to discuss with you. Obviously, it concerns her people, and she wants just like a private discussion with you and her. So just so you know your options, you do have a not a neutral place, but a place that's close to Geffen. It's a secret location that is only known by the sitting ruler of Geffen. It's used for these sort of things, these private secret meetings between world leaders. It is... Let me just take a look at it. It is a... it's encased around a small body of water, a form of protection, and it's a nice little enclosed place. There's a place in the middle that's like a gardens, green grass, and a place for the meeting, and then the actual structure, there's a nice dining hall, there's individual resting rooms. It's enough to like house basically you, your personal guard, whoever you bring, and the guest and their guard and whoever they bring. It has a small stables on the outside, and it's basically somewhere hidden in the woods, location magically protected, and only known to a select trusted few, you and your closest guards, of course. This is pretty much, I guess, the perfect location for this sort of thing, unless you'd rather meet directly in the city. But again, usually that feels a little imposing on the visiting party. But Natalia is a close friend, so you can decide what to do. But
I think that I would definitely choose the secure location, especially since she says it's urgent and all of that. Then I'm just like, we'll meet there.
yeah, so did you want to do it like tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, a few days from now? When did you want to let her know to meet you?
I would let her know that we can teleport there as soon as possible. Since she says it's urgent, then I'm not going to put her off for a couple of days, and I would just basically leave a note for my husband and make preparations to travel.
Excellent. You yourself can be there in a mere minutes, since there's a private teleportation circle you can take to get there. But who do you tell? Who do you bring? You can bring your closest guards. You have a new Queen's Guard, because obviously your old one is no longer in functioning. But you would have a new one, a new set of. They'd probably be like 10th to 12th level, a mix of like a fighter, a wizard, a cleric, these sort of people that have been assigned to protect you. They would be probably sleeping at this moment. Probably one of them's up, keeping watch outside your quarters. But if you want, you can wake them, and they can be ready to go. And
that's probably what I would do. Is just let the Queen's Guard know. I wouldn't wake my family for this. Just let the Queen's Guard know that we need to move.
Excellent. I think that's it. So yeah, you just get them, they get ready to go. You can respond to Natalia's message with the Raven, letting her know the location and how to get there and all that. Trying to think if there's anything else you need. No, I think that's it. You can, of course, you can, just for practical sake, you can select your spell list however you want. Obviously, you're going to a meeting, but you never know what happens whenever the queen of a very powerful city leaves the city. You always want to be prepared for whatever may happen. So you can work on your spell list as we hop back over across the country as the Raven flies to respond. So I guess some means of magic, but mere 10 minutes, 15 minutes after the message has been sent, a raven comes flying in through an open window and drops the message to your guard, and he rushes over to you with the response. Again, message drafted in Shiraze's hand, but clearly some sort of magical effect doing that. And it basically covers her response. She wants to meet in this location that you've never heard of. This must be maybe something new, or you've never used this location before, but it apparently is a secure magical location that is used for treating with people of other nations. And easy to find enough once you've been given the location. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just hand the message to Valu so that he can read through it, because he's the one that obviously has to, teleport me there. My plan is I'm hoping from this to directly go to Port Gaffenia to do what I need to do, so I am having them fetch me a decent level, probably bard, someone around that I would have on staff for certain things that they can do, and I'd have them prepare them for travel, and then I don't know if any of my guard would I feel like Natalia would be the type of person who she's I don't need anyone else. I don't know if they would push to have me bring someone else, but
no one will question your orders.
Yeah, so I would just say I just bring me the bard and I'm good to go.
So you are stopping by the Gaffenia place first, or you're meeting with Shiraze first?
Meeting with Shiraze first.
You're just ready to go there afterwards?
Yes, her thought process would be meet with Shiraze, tell Shiraze her intents, bring this all up, and then assuming that Shiraze doesn't have any huge issues with what she is planning on doing, she would go to Gaffenia straight afterwards to handle what needs to be handled. Hence the bard coming with.
Excellent. I'm just getting the other map ready. Any other things you guys want to note that you're doing in preparation?
I am...
Spell lists picked?
I mean, I don't pick anything, so
Alright, you
yeah.
already know yours. How about you, Jess? Are your lists okay, or do you need a little more?
I'm almost done with that.
Good, I need a few seconds anyway.
Yeah, I'm
you
looking
have a
at my
lot of
spells
spells.
to see if there's anything that I would put on myself before leaving.
I'll also point out it was extremely annoying how many damn scrolls you have. Like, Jesus.
I never threw anything away.
Well, you're good for anything.
The only spell of mine that, like, I think being the slightly paranoid person I am, even though Shiraze says it's safe, I think I put the invisibility on me anytime I'm out, just because
And how long does that last?
it lasts 10 minutes per level.
Okay, so quite a long time.
Do you want to know my buffs as well?
Yeah, you know what? Let me get all those buffs out just so we have a running list of everything going on. So we got Natalia. You got See and Viz. You got status on you, greater. And then that can be used further. Any other buffs or notes I should have for you?
I mean, I think that's mainly it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any long effects that can be given to you by your cleric, but I don't think there's any like hour-long buffs that you need or would want. I'm just gonna take a quick look just to see if there's anything that would be enticing to you. Because if it's not within the hour range, it will probably wear off before anything matters about it. How long is bowl strength? I'm pretty sure that's minutes per level, but you probably don't even need that anyway. Yeah, it's minutes per level. Does bark skin help you at all?
Tell me what it does again. I mean, it might. I just don't remember. I know it's like AC bonus, right? I just don't know what type of bonus it is.
It's enhancement bonus AC to natural armor.
Enhancement to natural armor. Probably. I have. That's luck. That's dodge. That's luck. Yeah, I think the only thing that gives me natural armor is, let me take a look here. My beast totem gives natural armor while raging. But let's see what type it says. While raging, the barbarian gains +1 natural armor bonus. This bonus increases by +1. Okay, so it's not an enhancement natural armor, so...
Sorry, frozen. I think I missed the last part of your sentence.
Oh, I said, yeah, the only other natural armor I have is from the beast totem, and it's not enhancement, it's just natural, untyped natural armor, so.
Alright, bark skin is cast on you. I gave you the buff. Hopefully, let me check make sure it does the thing.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
It's giving me 5 AC.
There you go. I think that's the only thing I can think of. Shield other wouldn't work. Or how does that work with... Could you do that through there? You can also cast Luminous through the link as if you were touching the target, but then you're not actually close enough for the range, I think. Alright, I think that's all I can think of.
Oh, I think that's fine.
Alright, Shiraze, what do you got for you?
All right. So I will be doing mind blank, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. Do you want just the buffs that I can cast if we get into combat, or what I would just
What's on you right now?
What's on me right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
which would you'd want to do? Just
So I would probably have 9 lives up.
mm-hmm. Excellent.
I'll have True Seeing.
Okay.
I'll have Detect Scrying.
Okay, yeah.
And I would have Mage Armor.
I believe Mage Armor won't stack with your Bracers of Armor.
Will it not?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check. Mage Armor. Gives you +4 armor bonus to AC. And what does the Bracers of Armor do? I'm pretty sure those are constructed using Mage Armor, so... Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it's the same type. Yeah, it gives an armor bonus, so yeah, they're the same type of bonus, they won't stack.
Okay, yeah. Then I it's been a while since I played this character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I wouldn't have Mage Armor. But yeah, I think that's all I would have in terms of buffs going into this meeting.
Yeah, it's a good list. Alright, Natalia, ready to TP into this place?
E.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Then let's get you there. Okay, so Jess, Shiraze, you already in the main area waiting for Natalia. Your Queen's Guard is composed of 4 individuals who kind of just wait with you, waiting for the guests to arrive. They, of course, will back off once you're engaged in conversation, because Natalia is a trusted person. But for now, they kind of just are all talking with you in this gardens area, in the middle of this secluded area, the middle of the night. And let's go. And I foolishly did not give the camera access to one of your sheets. So hold on. Let me remedy that. Permissions. The camera will be an observer. And configure permissions. The camera will be an observer. Or does it have to be an owner? There we go. Okay, it needs to be an owner of you too to get your vision. Boom. Can both of you see?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm being blocked by stuff, but
Yes. So, Natalia, you arrive At this structure, there's a bridge. The door's closed. But as soon as you arrive, Shiraze, your guard, will say, "Oh," the wizard amongst you will say, "She's arrived. Should we send for her?"
Yes, show her in.
The knight will go get her. Natalia, as you're kind of walking on up, the door opens. And this knight kind of salutes you from the door. "Hello."
Just nod to him. Tell him that I can't move until the game is unpaused.
You may now enter. And with you is just the bard, or anyone else with you?
I think it's just me and the bard.
Alright, so he says, he kind of looks around. Do you not have any of your personal guard?
I don't need personal guard, but thank you.
Ah.
There's very few deadlier in my kingdom than me.
I see. Well, this way. And he'll kind of guide you along the direction to travel. Yeah, and you're walking through this very ornate place. You see these nice statues and structures. He lets you know that if you need to stay the rest of the night or whatever, there's rooms that you will be brought to, but he opens this door into the nice night sky, and it's this open garden area with this raised platform. On the platform, if I had better assets, there'd be like couches and seating area where you guys can sit and talk. But there's Shiraze. It's the best catfolk token I could find. And her guard, they kind of walk down the stairs as you come, and they just kind of... This guy kind of stays kind of close by, but you two can seat and greet each other and talk as old friends do. And yeah, discuss away.
It's good to see you, Natalia.
It's good to see you too. I wish it was under slightly happier circumstances.
Indeed.
Well, unfortunately tonight has come to my attention that some of my people have foolishly done some idiotic things in your territory. I have a plan to deal with it all, but I did not want to do so behind your back without telling you what has happened and what is being done, particularly because it is not all bad. They just went about it poorly. Some of it, though, I think it best if we keep between the two of us. I like side-eye her guard a little bit.
Yeah, Shiraze can kind of tell him to...
In fact, I will cast Silent Table.
Yeah, he kind of gets the idea. He'll back up a bit.
I'll say, now, this should stay between us.
Thank you. It's not that I don't trust your guard. It's more of the less people who know some of this information, the better. I got word tonight that some of my subjects decided to build a sort of castle keep in your territory, I believe off in the woods, a bit a ways from Geffen. Now, I'm mostly upset with them, obviously, that they have done this behind my back and yours, and they will certainly be reprimanded for doing so. But the part I mostly wanted to speak to you about is I actually think having this keep there may be advantageous to both of us. We both understand the impending issues that could arise in Argarthia. I know we are under hopes that nothing will come of it, but It is good to be prepared just in case something does. While I don't agree with what my people have done, having this there would make it a lot easier for me to aid you in a much faster manner. And if we can actually keep it completely silent, the Queen of Argarthia will have no idea that you have allies who can aid you this quickly. They may attack you thinking that you are easy pickings and not realize that some of your allies can be there to help you within a moment's notice.
I definitely see the wisdom in having such a place. It would sort of be like an embassy, maybe, we could say, for your people.
Yes, so it would be a people for them to feel like they have an area. I mean, I believe some of what Celeste told me is BS, but some of it rings true. A lot of my people do still fear a repeat of Payon. They fear eventually those who fear us and mistrust us will come and start hunting us. There is word of potential people hunting my kind again in your territory. Now, this is rumors from Celeste, and I do not know if they are true or not, but I would be not surprised if they're true. I mean, during our adventuring days, we kind of took care of most of the hunters out there, but I always assumed they would eventually come back. So it does give them an area that if they are concerned about it, they can feel a bit safer. But also, it would be good to keep it completely unknown to anyone else as long as we can in case of a attack from Argarthia.
Yes, it's better to have a few surprises up our sleeves, I would say.
Yes. Now, to some of the unfortunate parts, my people did kill, I believe, one from your lands, and they will be reprimanded accordingly for that death. And you can let me know if there's any compensation you need from me to make sure that their family is taken care of. I will fully deal with my people for this. And I ask that you stand aside and let me enter Port Gaffenia to do some mind wiping of some of the collateral damage that has happened there. I don't wish there to be more deaths, but there are people there who now potentially know of what's happening. I wish to just go in with my bard, do what I have to do to just erase anyone's memories of what's happened and leave everyone unharmed and unknowing that anything ever went down.
Well, I would definitely prefer you erase their memory than having to deal with them otherwise.
Yes, that is my preferred method too. I don't wish to kill people whose only crime is they heard the wrong thing at the wrong time, which is why I've brought my bard with me. My plan here is, as long as you are okay with everything of my plan, I will head there next, and between my ability to control people's mind for a short time, tell them to voluntarily let my bard erase a few memories. He will do his thing, take care of the memories we don't want them to remember, and no one else has to be harmed.
I like your plan. I think that it will spare the most lives, and, hopefully that'll be the end of it.
There are a few adventurers, apparently from your Adventurers Guild, who know a little bit more, but I have another offer for them if they're smart enough to take it. If they're not, Mind Wipe will be the option for them as well, but I'm hoping they will see the advantageous proposal I will offer them in trade for them keeping their memories and keeping their lives.
Well, hopefully they'll see reason.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind, just in case they create any problems, I was hoping you would just write a quick letter to me that I may hand them so that they know the Queen of Geffen is aware of my intentions, and I want them to trust that I have had this discussion with you and things aren't being done behind your back.
That sounds reasonable. I could see how particularly civic-minded group might have their doubts. So anything I can do to help, Natalia.
I appreciate it.
I will get some parchment and a pen and write a message just basically saying that Natalia is dealing with the situation on our lands and that she has my full support.
And I'll make sure she rolls it up, uses her official seal so that I can hand it to them essentially sealed and everything.
Yeah, the queen never walks out with her official candle wax sealing. You have your signet ring, and you can just press it into the hot wax to seal the parchment and give her your official document.
I will do so.
Have anything else you want to discuss, or you kind of have this quick meeting? Do you go into pleasantries at all? Do you kind of catch up on what's been going on, or are you kind of all business tonight?
I'd probably tell her that as I would love for us to have a time to catch up soon, but this matter at Port Gaffenia is of urgency in order to contain, and that is my next plan, is to go make sure it is contained as best as possible.
And I would understand that. I would tell her, when you have some more time, just get in touch and we'll, have lunch or something.
Yeah, you're reminded of during the later part of your adventuring career, Natalia kind of always just did her own thing. She wasn't hanging around, socializing much, and you're kind of getting that vibe again. Remembering, was she even that great of a friend? Who really knows? But anyway.
Rude.
No, I mean this is definitely Natalia.
I am the best friend possible. I made Rion book it multiple times and got her away from him, okay?
She princess carried me before I was even a queen.
I did. You know, who else has a friend that will pick you up, throw you over their shoulder, and book it while your ex-lover that you're trying to avoid is running the opposite direction?
So let's talk a bit about, as you are ready, you guys exchange your pleasantries goodbye and you're ready to head out. When, let's just describe this area as you're looking around. It's happening at night, so this area here is magically lit, and there's it's like you look up and you see the stars, but that's like magic. It's really an enclosed area. You can kind of tell when you're looking closer. So it's like magically it's showing the night sky, but really you're in an enclosed area. And just as you're finishing your goodbyes, everyone hears a crack of thunder and subsequent, the sound like when thunder and lightning hits the ground and a flame is started, might have hit a tree or something. A flame has started, and immediately your wizard turns and yells and says, "My queen, you've been betrayed! Enemies!" And immediately the roof cracks, and this giant creature sticks its head above. You kind of get a glimpse of it. We'll go on break before we go into combat, but just kind of want to do a little cliffhanger. This giant creature is pulling apart the roof and is kind of sticks its head in and looks crazily inside and says, "2 queens for the price of 1!" And we'll roll initiative as your Queen's Guard will immediately, they're going to start initiative right here, kind of. This guy will jump up and they're going to surround the queen, but we'll take a quick break, use the washroom, get a drink, but then we'll come back and resolve this. Boom. We are back. Combat is starting. Hiya! You should all be in combat, and you can all roll initiative. How did that turn out in the chat? Okay. Boom.
Is there a knowledge check that I can do?
On this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, knowledge, the planes. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know this is in Lavathos. What can I tell you? I won't gonna go into the lore of it, but what do you want to know about it? You get 2 questions.
What defenses, immunities, that sort of resistances does it have?
It is immune to cold, poison, mind-affecting effect. It's got DR 15, cold, iron, and lawful. What was your other question?
Well, I was just asking about its defenses. I didn't have another question. Do you have one, Wit?
Special attacks or anything special abilities?
Yeah. It can do Quicken Heal. It can cast Imprisonment.
The fuck is that?
It can cast Black Tentacles. Insanity. Word of Chaos, which you guys don't care about. That won't do anything to you. It can Dimension Door at will. Greater Dispel Magic. And its one special attack is Entrepic Beams. So this creature, it has the token. I try to get tokens as good as I could, but they're not obviously exactly accurate. So this creature actually looks like... It's like this winged creature. It's got like 2 sets of wings, and it's got like multiple eyes in its body. And with the multiple eyes is important because its special attack, it can fire beams of energy from its 10 eyes. Each of these beams can be directed at a single target within 300 feet, but no more than 1 beam may be directed at any one creature. It makes a ranged touch attack to hit you with each beam, and it does the same as a 20th caster level Disintegrate. Fort save for partial damage, and each creature killed by this will explode, dealing damage to nearby creatures. Alright, but we got some things happening. People will beat initiative in this and that. So it's Natalia. You're up first.
Okay, first and foremost, she be raging.
Is this where Shiraze is?
What?
Shiraze, why are you over there? You're over here, right?
I haven't even moved anything.
Alright, sorry, go ahead.
So, describe, is it up in the air still?
Yeah,
like,
sorry,
what's
there's a
going
little
on
marker
here?
on it. It's 50 feet up in the air right now. It's like
50
peeking.
feet.
Yeah, it's like peeking through the... It's like coming through the roof.
Natalia disappeared.
I hit my enlarge buff and it made my character just disappear.
Oh, it re-showed up for me.
It hasn't shown up for me yet. I'm like, what the fuck?
Weird, it's not on the camera.
It's showing for me now.
Oh, maybe it's just lagging.
Yeah, it must be just some lag. Well, okay. Like,
Maybe if I move your... There we go. Do you see it
oh,
now?
there it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big girl.
Big girl.
Decide, like... yeah, I don't know what this thing is gonna do. So... It didn't sound like this thing had, like, true seeing or anything, right?
Let me double check. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Okay, well, when she tells me about the fucking I-beam shenanigans, I think I'm just going to rage, get large from raging, and do... I always forget I need to click it from the use spell button. I have 7 images.
Oh, nice. So there's 8 Natalias.
8 Natalias. 8 large Natalias. As I'm, like, preparing to fight this thing. Yeah. Natalia will take a defensive stance as she's looking at it.
Alright.
I'm so blurry.
The mirror images.
The images.
Just to keep it easy and fast, Shiraza, your Queen's Guard will go on your initiative. So they will,
Alright.
Unless you're going to direct them to do something, they're going to surround you to protect you. These guys aren't here yet. These guys will surround you. Did you have any orders for them, or they're just going to defensively surround you?
I will, I'll just tell them to be defensive for right now.
Get to the side if you can. Get out of my way.
Oh, I'll tell them to get out of Natalia's way, of course.
So, I mean, if, like, obviously they could surround you, but, like, move with you.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
move with you.
Because this thing's still, like, way up in the air, but I'm assuming it's gonna drop down. Hopefully. It might fucking beam us from up there, but...
So, yeah. I'm just remembering what all my stuff does, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Alright.
If we can't finish, we can narratively finish it.
Alright, so Shiraze is going to use one of her dusts of disappearance. And she's just going to oh wait, there I am.
Mm-hmm.
She's just going to move. I think I have 20 feet. I'm looking to see how much my movement is, but
Should
she's
be
just
more
going to
than
You
move.
should have 30.
Yeah, you have 30.
You're
Oh, you're
encumbered.
over. Yeah, you're encumbered, so you have 20 feet movement. You are invisible, but I guess, yeah, they don't know where you are. Do you have any specific orders for them? Do you just tell them to, like, what do you want them to do, I guess?
She told
I
them to get out of my way.
Yeah, I told them to let Natalia through, and I guess before I use the dust, I'll just tell them to, take cover.
Take over.
Yeah.
But we must defend you, my queen. Are you sure?
Which is, if Natalia can't defend me, then we're all screwed.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll just be like, I think that in this case, you need to take cover.
All right. He looks up. He's like, I won't argue. He runs. He opens his door. Oh. This guy will run back here. This guy stands here. He says, I will fight for honor.
Bro, get to the side at least.
Never.
Oh my god.
As you say that, he kind of turns to you and he says, I never liked you. And then actually he rips out of his body and turns into another creature entirely.
What the fuck?
It's like this. Let me get a description of this creature as it's before you.
Is this another knowledge the plane?
Let me check. This is knowledge. Yes, the planes.
Goddamn, Shiraz, I pick your Queen's Guard better.
I've never been able to replace them after you.
You know this to be an eremite. It's a blood-soaked humanoid with razored shards of metal in its chest area. It has skeletal wings that protrude from its bleeding shoulders. It has constant true seeing.
Fuck.
It has some spell-like abilities that I don't think any of you care about. It has an unnerving gaze, which I'm just going to give you the random stuff I think you'll care about. If you fail its save, you become paralyzed for a certain amount of rounds. You must make a will save or you get wisdom drain and go to madness. But it is a mind-affecting fear effect, so your thing might give you immunity to that. When you're hit by its natural attacks, you must make a save or become staggered.
God damn it, John, why can't you level me to 20th? I'm immune to staggered.
And if you get grappled by it, it can rip apart a piece of your flesh off, and you'll get ability damage of its choice.
The fuck?
I think that's all that's kind of scary about this thing.
Does it have any immunities?
DR 15 good and silver, immune cold, fear effects, non-lethal damage, pain, has spell resistance of 31.
Valu and my cleric are getting these mental messages what the fuck, god damn it, Shirazai, why do you have the most incompetent fucking guard ever? Now I have to kill one of your guard?
Well, clearly it's not one of her guard. Her guard's been killed.
Duh.
And it will try to bite you, Natalia. .43 misses. But I think that's enough to destroy an image. It's 5
True.
under your AC.
Yep, it will. We'll destroy an image. Wait, but does it even... it has true seeing, so is it going to actually destroy an image? Because it can see me specifically, so it would
Right, true seeing sees through.
hit an image.
So it just misses.
So it's just not hitting me, yeah.
True.
I mean, I just feel like since it knows where I am, it shouldn't be
killing an
hitting
image.
an image.
Yeah, you're right. This thing chills. This thing will go. This thing will lower itself into the field. So now it's it lands on the ground.
Blech.
And it will send one of its eye beams at... It doesn't have true seeing, so it just goes at you. It's going to make a touch attack at you. What did it say it was?
Bro, is my touch AC really that fucking low?
Well, what's its range touch? Combat.
Ugh, gross. That is exactly 5 below. So
Alright, one of your images
auto-kills
get...
an image. Okay.
Now, new round. Now that this thing is open.
Well, I got this bitch in front of me to take care of, I guess.
Hold up. This thing comes down from
Oh
the
my
sky.
god, what the fuck?
In the open hole. And it will attack you, Natalia.
Jesus. Does it have
With a spear.
True seeing?
Let me double check. No. Oh wait, does.
Is this
does.
another knowledge the planes?
Yeah. I'll just assume you can identify them automatically, so you don't have to roll.
Oh, okay.
This thing can also do imprisonment. It's immunity. It has immunity to any spell or spell-like ability with acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic. It has multiple weapons and multiple arms. It has wounding weapons. That's about it. DR 15 chaotic. Spell resistance. Yada yada. That's all the good things. It launches a spear at you, Natalia.
And you said it does have true seeing.
It does, but natural one.
Get fucked, buddy.
Oh, cool animation though.
Is it my turn finally, or is there some
Nope.
other weird... Oh my god, what the fuck else is coming? Oh my god!
This thing, well, I'll give you... I just want to do its attacks, then while you do your turn, I'll talk about it. I'll check if it has True Sight to see if that will...
Unless it's versus touch, that's not going to even pop an image, but it would be good to know if it has true seeing or not, just for the future.
It does have True Seeing.
Okay.
You would know this to be a Awful Daemon. It can do Wail of the Banshee. Has adamantine claws. If it grapples you, it's going to do some stuff. I doubt it'll grapple you. If it does, we can get there. And it has something if it kills someone, we don't want to get to that point. So nothing too special about this guy. DR10, good and silver, immune to acid, death effects, disease, poison, resists some elements, spell resistance. Finally, Natalia.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they all are surrounding you. Some of them do see Shiraz, I guess, but they're trying to take you down one at a time. And
Lord.
I think there's just an aura this thing has that I need to make a save. I need a fort save as the smell from this creature, from both of you, makes it...
Would it be like a nauseated effect?
It is a...
Because there are just certain things I can just tell you in case it matters. I'm immune to being shaken or frightened.
It will be nauseated. And if
Okay.
you save, you'll be sickened. Oh! You are sickened. You are nauseous. You are nauseous. Shiraz, it just stinks and you're like... Blah.
As an immediate action, I want to use Cat's Luck.
To re-roll.
Yes.
Meow. Re-roll. That's good enough. You are sickened as well.
Nice.
Natalia, you're surrounded by these extra-dimensional beings, all trying to touch you.
Is there any vibe of which could be the deadliest of the three that are around me?
They're all pretty equal. This big one is probably... looks like the most, I guess, dangerous because it's the biggest one, maybe? But they're all pretty equally deadly.
Well, I don't like being flanked, so I guess I'm gonna start taking out ones that are trying to flank me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, technically, did these things have to fly within 5 feet? Like, did these things have to... The two that flew down, did they have to come right
Oh.
up next to me to attack me?
Let me double check what their reach is, because that is a good question. Does it have their reach here in a good spot? Notes. Reach. No, this thing has 20-foot reach. But the one on the top of you has... It has 15-foot reach, so it'd have to get 15 feet within you. The one in front of you didn't know was an enemy until it revealed itself.
Yeah, that one, yeah, I know.
The big one has 30-foot reach, so they're all at the distance
so none
they
of
need
them,
to be.
Yeah, because I would only have a total of 10-foot reach, so...
Yeah, I'm just putting them just for artistic...
Yeah, I just wanted, I just figured to know whether any of them would have provoked AOs, because, I mean, that could be pertinent. Alright, well, I guess we're just gonna try to full attack the one above me.
Go for it.
Do I have any bonuses? Willpower attack, fuck it.
Whoa, who are you attacking? Oh, this guy.
Oh, that's a nat 20. That guy might just get his head chopped off.
35 to confirm the crit, though. Which
auto-confirm crits. Fated Blood Rager. I auto-confirm nat 20 Vorpal Blade. The dice have spoken.
First attack, this guy just gets his head lopped off. This thing collapses on the ground.
I never got to do that during our actual campaign, so at least now
Who's the second attack going to?
I would target the next attacks at the one to the south.
Okay. And I guess is his head coming off too?
No, it's only on a nat 20. So, I mean, unless he has fortification, I still auto-crit confirm, but it only does the head lopping if it's a natural 20.
Gotcha. When that happens, one of these creatures is here for your Vorpal weapon.
Ooh, motherfucker.
Because they fear it. I'm just trying to figure out which one it is. Ah, it's the one that isn't here yet. But yeah, they like are. So yeah, you crit this guy for 165 damage.
Yep.
It's still alive. And where's the other attacks going?
Same one. If he's still alive, I'll.
Sorry, you're targeting this one, right?
Yeah.
The 34 and 28 will miss.
Lame. Okay.
And Shiraze, your turn.
Oh, wait. The one to the south needs to make a fortitude save if he is potentially able to be stunned or staggered. Because I crit him DC 28. Okay, so 1d4 rounds of being staggered. I don't know if you want to roll it or you want me to roll it.
You can roll it.
Aw, lame. I guess it's at least one.
Do they have staggered? Yes, they do. Staggered. Shiraze.
Alright, I am going to go ahead and cast Heroic Invocation.
Alright, you cast it on yourself and Natalia?
Yes.
Alright. Buffed up. Also, at the beginning of your round, teleporting in will be a familiar face. Jet de Volpe and Valou are here. Jet looks around, he says, "What the hell's is going on? I'm here to help." Valou's here. He's like floating in the air and he says, "The fuck? Do you even need my help?"
I don't know, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna chill here. You call for help if you need it.
I'm always happy you're here.
Yeah, he just flies up and he's just watching. He'll step in if you need him. Same with
You could haste
Jet.
me. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, Jet will cast haste on you guys. Hasted. And he will step back as well. You guys can call for their aid whenever you want.
Okay.
I'm just kind of letting them chill there because I think you guys got this, but just in case. This thing goes...
Bowl blade.
Has it got anything special for you?
Oh, do I need to roll the 2d8 plus 4 hit points?
The buff should auto do it.
Yeah, it auto rolled. It gave me hit points.
Oh, cool.
Gave me 15.
This thing will defensively cast something.
Can I spellcraft?
Yeah. As it's targeting you, Shiraze.
Oh, I have ranks in spellcraft, but it's saying I don't have ranks in spellcraft.
Oh, I might not have done your skill ranks. Just roll a d20 plus... I can quickly check your check in the other game. Give me a d20 plus... Where's my Shiraze? Here you are. You should have had... Loading. Character sheet. Close. You have a plus 36. Give me a d20 plus 36. Oh, yeah. He's casting insanity on you.
Alright,
Which I will target you with the spell Insanity! This is a mind-affecting compulsion effect. I don't know if you have any resistances to that. You need to make me a will save.
okay, it's not a charm effect, though.
It's a compulsion effect, so no. I think charm is separate.
Okay. And if I feel like that the spell's taking hold, I would use my 9 lives again.
Yeah, the spell looks like it's invading your mind. Ooh, that is just enough. You fend off the spell. I think that's all he can do. But then another creature is coming out of the sky. This creature looks at your Vorpal weapon and is not pleased. This thing will fly on in.
What's its reach?
Its reach is...
Yayo, something!
15 foot.
God damn it.
But you guys know this, you can identify it, but I'm just seeing if it can do anything right now. Yeah, this thing joined this fight just to try and take out these Vorpal weapons, so it will go for you. So it begins babbling in all these different languages really loudly. And I need a will save as it's like filling your head with like all these fucking different languages.
What kind of effect is it?
It's a sonic based attack.
You need it from both of us?
Yes. It's mind affecting and sonic effects, if that matters to any of you.
It might for me. If I fail, I might have some bonuses on mind affecting effects.
You fail. Or no.
Seriously?
Sorry, you both pass.
Okay, I was like, Jesus,
But you still...
failed?
it says reflex for half, so you take half this damage.
Reflex for half, though?
Yeah. Or no, sorry. What was it saying?
Will for half?
Oh, there's another effect.
Do we need a reflex save, too?
Oh, no, sorry, it has to choose which one it does. So to try to do the
Okay.
confusion effect, you both save. And I think you're fine then.
Okay.
This thing will shoot its beam at Natalia again. At your touch, AC, with its eyes. Ugh. Oh my god, come on, bro.
Doesn't even pop an image.
Pathetic. Can I please do some damage to you? This thing's staggered, so it'll just try to bite you.
Nope.
Ooh. Natalia.
Alright, let's chop some more heads, guys. Let's go. Aiming the one to the south. If I happen to kill it, switching to the one that's to the left of me. Ooh, low rolls.
Oh my god. First one is a miss, 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 miss. Last one, your hasted attack, is a hit.
Jesus.
Those are a lot of low rolls.
Yeah, I might need to just burn some spells here.
You also notice that, does this guy have it? Oh, he doesn't. Boo. Never mind. Yeah, solid damage. Shiraze.
Alright. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to cast Greater Heroism on Natalia.
Alrighty.
What does heroism, greater heroism do that's differently than regular heroism? Because the compendium doesn't have greater for buffs.
Let's see.
You get a +4 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, skill checks, immunity to fear effects, and temporary hit points equal to your caster level.
Okay, so I'll just update this. So 18 temporary hit points.
Yeah, basically the regular buff is +2, so just change it to +4. But can you really touch her if there's all the mirror images? I'm just joking, it's fine. Yeah, you guys don't want anything from Valoo or Jet. They're just kind of chilling, ready to... Jet will try to Bayful polymorph one of these things.
Yeah, right, buddy.
He casts a polymorph spell. This thing will make a fortitude save. Natural 1 is always a fail. Oh, 29! That's actually kind of low. Oh wait, but he has to come over his spell resistance first. Which he does. What is the DC? It's 15 plus his int mod. Which is that... Yeah, unfortunately that will still pass. But it was close. Anything else, Shiraze?
No, not yet. Not from me.
Alright, this thing will go... And it's no longer... Oh, this thing's not staggered at all, right? So it can full attack?
Yeah.
Alright, it will full attack you. And does this thing have true sight? I forget. This thing does have true seeing. So your mirror images are no effect. And it will full attack you with Here Comes the Bite. Ah!
Miss. I guess
The
it's a little there.
claws.
Ooh. Okay.
And another claw. You taking your own damage?
Yeah.
And it's got wings. Oh. One more wing. Oh. That hits, but will not crit confirm for 6 bludgeoning damage. Yes, my creatures, yes, we've had striking blood. This thing curses at you and says, "Give me your vorpal weapons and maybe I'll let you live."
Fuck you.
No, fuck you!
No. How about I cut your head off?
How dare you?
Don't come after my weapon and I won't cut your head off.
Those are evil creations. And it will shoot a line of chaotic energy at hitting. It'll reposition. It'll fly over here.
Is it flying through my threat
No.
radius to do so? Well,
It's
come
got
on.
it has 80-foot movement. It's not.
Oh my god.
Does it have true seeing?
It
Out
does,
of
I
true.
believe.
Okay.
Yeah. You're immune. You guys are immune to fear, right? So you don't need to save against its presence.
Yeah.
You guys do recognize this is a type of dragon, by the way. It lines up a breath weapon for my ancestors, and I need you both to make a reflex save. As sonic energy gets thrown down in a 60-foot line. Let's make sure it actually can reach both of you. Yeah. Shirazade, that is a fail. Natalia, that is a... That's close. It is a fail, unless you have any bonuses on top of that.
I don't think on reflex saves, I don't think I have any bonuses.
Alright, this is all sonic damage. You both of you are going to take all of that. 71 damage. And zaps through you guys. You murdered my family. This thing is launching its eye attack once again at Natalia. 28 against your touch.
That actually will potentially hit. Image.
Curses! This thing is no longer staggered, right?
It was...
One round, right?
Yeah.
So it'll full attack you with a bite. Oh! Claws. Oh, that won't crit confirm, but that'll hit you for 35.
That is a beefy fucking claw.
And this thing has true seeing, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, it does. And I believe it's got... It's... Oh no, it's only if it hits you with both claws, which I don't think it did. Oh, it has one more claw. Hi-yah! Ooh. Natalia.
Alright, I'm sick of this shit.
Ooh, Dimensional Blade.
Alright, same attack targets.
Touch. This touch is a lot lower. Oh lordy. take him down.
Okay, if there's any attacks left.
No, you have to use all your attacks.
Damn.
You
Okay.
like hack into it.
Well, at least that's one down. I'm gonna go grab my dinner real fast. Anything that's targeting me, I'll look at it when I get back real quick.
Sure. Shiraze. There's 3 opponents left.
How does Natalia look? Does she look very badly hurt, or is she still just okay?
She looks like she's more injured than you've seen her in a while, but she's not even like half.
Okay. So Shiraze is going to move to there so that we're not in a line anymore. At least not.
Actually, on her turn, you'll see her heal up for... let me roll it. You can keep doing your move, though.
Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to cast Blessing of Fervor.
Whitney, you'll heal on your turn for my roll there. You'll feel like this magic come over you, and you're getting Blessing of Fervor, and so are the enemies? No.
No.
Very nice. Blessing of Fervor is out. That shine over them is just them getting pissed. What is that?
I don't know
else?
if Valu and Jet were in range, but if they were,
Sure.
they could have it too.
Yeah. Anything else?
But yep, that'll be it.
Alrighty. This creature will full attack again. Trying to take you out. 36, is that within thing to do anything with your illusions?
Nope, they need to hit a 44 to touch an illusion.
Oh my god. 2 claws, not a 44. And then it's 2 wings. Ugh, everything you missed. Let me see if you can do any other swift actions. Oh, he has True Seeing as well, sorry. So none of your illusions would even do anything. No, it doesn't look like he has any swift stuff. You're immune to fear effects, right?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, it tries to lock eyes with you, but does nothing. This thing needs you to die. It'll target both of you with its eye beams.
Both of us?
Yes.
Even though I'm invisible?
I believe it has True Seeing. Let me double check.
The I-beam one doesn't, that's why it's rolling my images.
This is the dragon.
Oh, okay.
It's got some
okay.
eye beams too.
That one does have True Seeing.
Yeah, did you remember? Does it? I'm just looking it up to make sure.
It does. Everything had... Well, I guess it breath weapons, so I don't know if I asked
I
about
may
it.
just double check. Because I wouldn't want to be unfair to little Shiraze. It does have True Seeing. I don't know if this rolls the right thing. This is against your touch. This is against, so 35 against Natalia and 40 against...
Yeah, I mean that hits touch, so 47 fire damage.
Mm-hmm. And then Shiraze, 52 fire, unless you have any resistances to that.
I don't think I do.
As you look injured, he says, "Betray your friend and I'll let you live. We just want her vorpal weapon." And the other one shouted, "No, we must kill her too!" This one, what does it want to do? It will come up to strike you. It is, obviously it has reach, 15-foot reach. Claw. Any of those come within mirror image range? No?
Nope.
Wings. 44.
One will
pops
pop
in
an image.
And that's all it has. Natalia.
So I'm actually kind of annoyed with this
Just gonna move
dragon.
these in.
So I'm a 5-foot step over here and attack the dragon.
Not the vorpal weapons. Anything but the vorpal weapons.
Well, bro, you should have left me alone and I wouldn't use it against you.
You killed my family.
Well, you know what? Your family was trying to kill me, probably, so they deserved it.
Ooh.
Oh my god, a dragon might be getting its head cut off.
Yeah, its one fear is of vorpal weapons, and you take its head off with the vorpal blade. Its greatest fear.
Would a 29 hit? Probably not, the little bitch.
29. You mean 38? Was your next attack? Where do you get 29 from?
Well, I'm assuming it takes me to my crit to chop the head off of...
And then your hasted attack is 38.
yeah, sorry, 38. I was looking at the crit confirm roll, you're right.
Yeah, 38 against its touch, because you have Dimensional Blade. Yep.
True, I have Dimensional Blade on.
That will hit him. You can direct that to him for 59 damage. Shiraze.
Shiraze is going to heal herself.
Heal.
How do I remove targets from everybody? Because I still have everybody targeted.
You can...
Oh, never mind, I got it.
Oh yeah, and Natalia, on your turn, you will heal again for this. You feel like an ethereal hand comes through the void and puts a hand on your shoulder and heals you.
Telepathically thanking him.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, heal. I was like, what? Is that right? Damn. That's a big chunk of HP back for you. Anything else?
That is it.
This creature will... Okay, that's not gonna work. Does it have anything else? Yeah, it's just gotta try to attack you, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Ugh. Following attack, not power attacking. Oh! This thing does have true sight, so that'll hit for 19. There's a 44. Slash your images. This thing will cast a spell and then try to...
I will spellcraft.
Yeah. D20 plus 36, I think you have. Imprisonment. This is going after... Oh, right. It's... Okay, never mind. It's casting True Seeing on itself. So I can see the real Natalia for next turn. Natalia. Two creatures left. The Queen's Guard has some courage. They'll come out needing assistance. Dimensional Blade.
Little boy first, if I happen to kill him, moving to the big boy.
Alright.
Can I chop another head off?
Ooh,
No, got a crit.
Yeah, that will... yeah, you auto-confirm. What a nice feature.
But I mean, go through the other attacks first, because if I can land the crit on the big guy, it might make a difference for staggering or stunning.
Yeah. It is the crit that takes him down. And now you have the hasted attack, which is a 51, which definitely will hit the big guy.
Yeah, I just don't get to stagger him.
Ugh. Oh, did it not apply the damage? There we go, apply damage. There we go. Shirazé, one creature left. These corpses, some of them are headless, lie along the field.
I am going to... well, I know that I have this ability, but I don't see it on here. I was going to use my Misfortune Hex on the big guy.
They should be on your features page.
I don't see Misfortune.
Oh, maybe I missed that one.
I know I had a lot of them.
Yeah, I think I got literally all of them except for that one, maybe. Whatever. Do you know your DC? I guess I can look. Misfortune. Misfortune. I'll just click it in the roll 20. You have a DC of 29. And it lasts 2 rounds.
No, it should be like 4, I thought. Because of my level?
Oh, you just have 2 rounds written in here. Maybe it's higher. I don't know. But anyway, we'll just see if he fails. Because if he saves, it doesn't even affect him, right?
He still gets it for 1 round.
Oh, no matter what, it's still 1 round?
Yeah, it says, let's see. Wait, let me make sure I'm reading this right. That could be Evil Eye I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's evil. I think Misfortune is save negates.
Yeah, you're right. Save negates, so...
He will resist. Oh, he's also immune to mind affecting, which...
This one isn't mind affecting.
Gotcha.
Evil Eye is. Alright, well, I tried.
You did try. Are you still invisible? Does your dust break from anything?
Well, if you remember, the way we were doing it is you were determining how many rounds, because I think it's like 2d6 rounds.
Yeah.
And then you would just tell me, like, when I appeared again, basically.
Yeah, okay. Well, these guys will just, like, look around for you. Do you need healing, my queen?
I won't say anything.
Yeah. They're nubs. They don't know what's going on. But this guy has True Seeing now, so he sees the real Natalia and Shirazé, but he wants to take down Natalia. And he'll try to touch you with the spell as he casts it, and then moves in to touch you. The same spell, you already kind of identified it, Imprisonment.
I mean, how was he at his max range?
He has 15-foot reach.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. So he doesn't have to actually move in and touch me.
Yeah. Touchy touch. Come here.
No, please, no, please, no. Oh, God.
Does that touch your touch?
Yeah?
Alright, let's see what happens.
I'm pretty sure I have to make a save.
Hopefully not.
I'm pretty sure I need a save.
Imprisonment! Will negates. And if you have any spell resistance.
I don't think I have any spell resistance.
You take a -4 penalty to its save because it knows your name and some facts about your life.
What the fuck? Weirdo fucking researching me. Abjuration. God damn it.
It's a similar thing that Valoo used to do to people.
I know, I'm like sitting here being like, God damn it, Valoo, you better know how to get me out of this. Ooh,
Oh, that's the exact number! You feel yourself encasing in frozenness, but then you kind of shake out of it. It roars in anger. Natalia.
Alright, well, I don't have any touch spells left, so we just hacking away at this, bro. Some decent
First
rolls.
one will hit. Hack into it. Second one will miss. Third one will miss.
No.
Miss. Last one, haste attack will hit. Shiraze.
Alright. I'm going to cast the Fortune Hex on Natalia.
Nice.
Two rounds of fortune.
This thing says, I'll be back one day with more people to kill you. And it'll dimension door.
Fuck you, no. Someone hit it with a fucking non-teleporting ray.
I don't have that.
Yeah, the Velour jet might.
Yeah, Valoo had dimensional anchor readied. What is it? A touch attack. Range touch attack.
Come on, Baloo. Be my homeboy right now.
That'll hit its touch AC. Now I think it gets a saving throw none, but there is spell resistance.
Come on, Baloo, you got this.
What's his spell resistance? Does he have spell resistance? Yeah, he must. Why am I not seeing it? Let me just make sure I'm not... Yeah, SR 31. Oh!
Ooh! Yeah!
So he still gets a dimension door. He had dimension doors like to the ceiling, so he's like back to 50 feet up. And he was ready to go away, but he gets this green ray strikes him, and he...
Jet,
Natalia.
if you can go and make me fly!
Yeah, sure, he didn't get a turn last time, so he'll run up. Fly, you're flying.
Hell yeah. We are charging this motherfucker.
He backs up. How are you, Shiraze? Everything good? Natalia, your turn. Your first strike runs into it and chops its head off. You have the ability to pounce when you charge, and you kind of like are pouncing through the air as you get up to it with your axe and just cleave its head off. And all the creatures lay defeated before you.
Bitch.
A massacre
Well,
bodies line the floor. Some moments later, Shiraze becomes visible. My queen.
are you all well?
Yes. Sorry, we couldn't help. This was out of our league, I think.
Yes, this was a little bit beyond your abilities. I just didn't want you to perish.
The images fade. You guys can have any final discussions. Jet nods at you and says, looks like you didn't even need my help.
I mean, the fly was much appreciated. It might have
True.
gotten away without that.
Yeah, Valu and Jet kind of discuss amongst themselves for a little bit. As they talk, you guys can have your final moments. Natalia, you can just become your normal self unless you want to be a big girl walking on the stage. But the scene kind of fades out as you guys have your closing conversations. And that's where we'll end there. Both of you may level up to level 19 if you want.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
But good game, well played, and yeah, we can cut the stream here. Bye!